One of the most annoying things about E3 this year was the fact that we basically got nothing from Mass Effect Andromeda. I know, we technically got some stuff, but there was so little of the actual game, it doesn't really count for anything. But we do have some news thanks to the BioWare studio boss Aaron Flynn and creative lead Mac Walters, and they confirmed something interesting. That the Mass Effect Andromeda will not carry over any of the previous decisions that you made during Mass Effect 3, shall we say, rather controversial endings. Now he said, quote, "We want this to be a new story and it'll be very hard to say it's a new story, but you also need to understand how the past trilogy ended. We've done it in such a way that allows all of those decisions you made to remain intact in the canon of the universe, but also allows a new story to begin." Now, if you are a Mass Effect fan, which you probably are if you're watching this video, so it's a bit of, yeah, you get my point. There's been a theory floating around that Andromeda is set after Mass Effect 3 and the Ark ships carrying Milky Way races left our galaxy before the ending of Mass Effect 3. Now, BioWare isn't saying so just yet, but he did go on to say that we won't be seeing any Milky Way inhabitants affected by the synthesis ending of Mass Effect 3. It's important for us to have elements from the trilogy for fans to have in the background. Ultimately, this is intended to be a fresh story, but we want to have things for people to find and go, "Oh, I remember that character." It's a coalition of Milky Way races. We need to find a way to make sure certain species you're familiar with come along with you on your journey to meet new ones. As in the tradition of Mass Effect, there will be certain people working together happily and certain people working together less happily. To be honest, given that even after the changes that were made, people weren't sort of overly satisfied at all with Mass Effect 3 ending, it's probably fair that we kind of leave that trilogy behind. You know, they're not erasing that canon, that still happened, but we kind of after that canon, that still took place, your choices were still there, but we're not dealing with them now rather. And to be honest, that also makes sense from a gameplay standpoint. Having to take into effect all of those decisions into this new game would be insane, and I don't really blame them for wanting to say, hey look, we're using that as a bounce off point, we're giving you some of the characters from before, like familiar races and stuff, and we're bouncing off into a new universe with new planets, environments, races, and people and quests to get, and all sorts of new adventures and shenanigans to get involved in. And that seems like a better thing to me than rather than still being bogged down in that old stuff. We've got a fresh story to work with while still saying, hey, your choices are still there, we're just not involved with them anymore because, hey, we're in a different galaxy, which does kind of make sense, and that sounds good to me. And in theory, it could even be a potential thing for people who've actually never played a Mass Effect game to be like, oh, I can just play Andromeda then, because, well, the old canon, while it is important, you don't need to know it, I guess, for this new game. That could potentially be a thing. Hopefully we'll see some more gameplay soon. I have to admit, I was a bit concerned by the fact that we didn't see any gameplay at all at E3. It kind of makes me suspicious that we're going to be seeing a delay. It's supposed to be coming out next spring, and we still have not seen any significant anything from Mass Effect, so I'm a little bit worried, but apparently development is healthy, according to the same interview with the BioWare guys. So fingers crossed, no further delay, that would be good. But of course, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.